Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today's recipe is all about the humble cranberry sauce. Now, this time of year, I know you've all got half a jar tucked in the fridge from Christmas. Don't really know what to do with it. Carlos is nodding. I've got two amazing recipes that are going to make you want to get in the kitchen, get to the back of the fridge and find that cranberry sauce. Okay, so first recipe, I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful kind of Danish style pastry. We're going to use croissant dough. You can all get that in the supermarket. I've got some beautiful California walnuts first. So let me move my coffee and biscuit. So we're going to make a lovely Danish pastry with cranberry sauce, satsumas, pumpkin seeds, California walnuts, and some marmalade. Absolutely delicious. Takes it to a whole new level. So let's just grab our walnuts first. Now, normally I would just roast these whole and then use them, but because we're going to roll them up in the dough, they need chopping before we roast them. And we're going to roast them because it makes them nuttier and makes them even more flavoursome. Okay? Nuts love to be roasted, and all the natural oils kind of make them go golden and nutty. Makes the nut nuttier. Not something we need in this kitchen. More nuts, nuttier. It's already on the edge. Right, okay. So into a dry pan, we don't need any oil in this because we're toasting them, we're not frying them. Okay? So let's pop that on. Let's get our pumpkin seeds. Good for you, pumpkin seeds. Let's add those in as well. Right. Now just going to roast that off. So I'm on just above medium heat. Excuse me, I'll just have a little cup of coffee. Now, if you want any of today's recipes, sign up for the newsletter on our website, petersidwell.com. Carlos will put a QR code down this side. You could scan it if you want to, or just go straight to the website, sign up, and we will deliver all the recipes every week straight to your inbox. So it's nice and easy. Okay, so let them roast. Now, let's have a look at our croissant dough. Now, I love these when they work. And some days they work perfectly, don't they? And then some days you cannot get into these tins. But anyway, what we're going to do is just take the chopping board away. Let me grab a little flour just so that we can work this without getting stuck. And then what we're going to do is just unravel it, okay? Don't worry about the pre-cut bits for croissants. We don't need to worry about that at all. Okay, so let's unravel. Nice. Got cranberry sauce in the fridge, Carlos?
Yeah.
It's going to sit there for another 6 months, maybe?
Until I fed up of it and throw it in.
Exactly, right. So, cranberry sauce. Just pop it on there and we'll just spread it. Use the back of your spoon and just spread it all the way along there. So this is sort of slightly tart as well, so it's going to work really well. And it's just a great way of using it up. You could use jam if you haven't got any cranberry sauce, that's okay. I just thought, time of year, people need to know how to use up those bits of leftovers. Because most people, like when you put a big jar, you buy a big jar at Christmas, few people have it, few people don't, and then you're left with the rest. And it's like, what do you do with it? So, problem solved. Okay, so. You can see, because we haven't added any oil, they're just naturally getting hotter. The natural oils from the walnut and the pumpkin seeds are just toasting lovely. Okay, so what we're going to do as well is we grab our clementines or satsumas. Let's just get the zest in, yeah? Because cranberry and orange work really well together as a flavour combination. Okay, adds a bit of fragrance, lovely bit of flavour. Be delish. Woo! There's one. Yeah, used to be a goalie. Right. Fragrance just sets it off really, really nice. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is just take my oranges. There's a big yawn, Emily. And then into the pan. And that liquid will evaporate and just leave the natural sugars from the clementine. And almost just sort of glaze this. And just give it that lovely little tang. It's about reinforcing the flavour. Give it another squeeze. You'll always get that little bit more. Wash my hands. Right. Just give that a little bit longer. There we go. And we are almost ready. Now, if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll answer them as quickly as possible. So this is an exclusive recipe, brand new recipe. The next recipe that I'm going to be doing is coming from our new book that we've brought out. It came out in September, inspired by my little Thomas, my son, who absolutely loves like crispy chicken nuggets and all that sort of stuff. I thought I could make better. And I've got the most incredible dipping sauce made with cranberries, soy sauce and fermented Korean chili paste. It is so good. It takes the humble chicken nugget, if you like, to the next level. Promise you. Right. All we're going to do now is just scatter these. Now, if you've got more than you need, don't worry. Just cool them down, put them in a jar and put them over your yogurt in the morning. Or put them in your porridge, yeah? Because they'll just have that lovely sort of sweet orangey caramelization. And they'll go nice and crispy and crunchy. Now, all we're going to do now is roll it back up, okay? So let's just carefully, don't stretch the dough out too much. Just roll it up like so. I can smell the orange on those, it's fab. Okay, and then before we slice these into Danish pastries, I'm gonna pop it in the fridge. I want this to cool back down. Because croissant dough is full of layers with the butter in it, yeah? And when you've just sort of rolled it out, warmed it up, it needs to cool back down before you slice it. Right, the Danish pastry has just chilled in the fridge, just that little bit, enough for me to be able to slice it. So all I'm gonna do is cut it, nice sharp knife, and just saw through it gently, so that you still get all those beautiful layers like that. Can you see that? You see the nuts, the cranberry, the orange, everything's in there and it's all just going to bake up beautifully. So let's pop that one on there. So they're about 2 centimeters wide, these. Don't cut them too thin because you want everything to stay together. Okay. So you should get 6 out of this from what I remember. 6 plus a little trimming, maybe. I don't think you'd want these, Pip. Okay, so let's just drop that like that. Like so. So there we go. And then all we're going to do is just transfer that onto the baking tray. Now, I don't normally use baking parchment on this, but because we've got the sauce, what I don't want it to do is seep out and burn. And so putting it on some parchment paper gives me that added bit of security on these. So all I'm going to do now is preheat the oven, 170 degrees. We're going to bake these for about 18 minutes till they're golden and crispy and bubbling. Then all you need to do is melt a couple of tablespoons of marmalade and then just brush it on the top for a lovely shine. Be absolutely delicious. Right, time for recipe number 2, using up our cranberry sauce. So we're going to make this beautiful cranberry and Korean chili paste dipping sauce for some delicious chicken tenders. So nice and simple, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Panko breadcrumbs, for me, is a must. Okay, they're really crispy. You can get them everywhere in the supermarkets now. It's not a specialist item at all. And what I've got here is I've got some chicken breast, skinless, boneless, just cut into strips, okay? Ready to go. And then I've got some seasoned plain flour, and I've got 3 eggs. So what we're going to do is breadcrumb these. Now, the kind of the rules on breadcrumbing them is exactly the same no matter what you're doing, whether you're breadcrumbing vegetables, fish, chicken, cheese, doesn't matter what you're doing. Okay, so we'll just whisk those eggs up a little bit. And to be successful at this, you just need to remember to keep one hand dry all the time. Okay? So we're going to start. First of all, I'm going to do, put the air fryer on, okay? So get the air fryer hot. We're going to take our chicken, put it in the flour. So this is seasoned with a bit of salt and a little bit of white pepper, just ground white pepper. Then drop that in there, okay? So what you can do is do all the flour in first if you want, but don't put it all in the egg mixture. What we could do is just pop it on there, okay? Because once we get egg in this, you've got to keep one hand dry all the time, otherwise you're going to end up with breadcrumbed fingers. Okay, and if you're doing a lot, and I would always say, if you're going to do this, make double or treble what you want and put them in the freezer, and then they're done. And then you just take them out. You can cook them from frozen or whip them out, let them thaw out for a couple of hours, and you're good to go. But being able to freeze them from raw is really handy. Okay, so that's the flour bit done. Let's get rid of that. Now we're on to the egg mixture. It's important that we keep one hand dry. This is my dry hand now that has flour on it. So that hand will be used to go into the breadcrumbs. This one for the egg. So just turn them over. Just do them one at a time. If you try and do too many, that's when you get in a mess. And you don't get a really nice, even coating. So just turn it over in the panko and then pop it onto the plate. So you can see, dry hand, wet hand. So I take the wet hand away and then we just coat the chicken. Okay? Dead easy, eh, Carlos?
I'm always making a mess with this.
Do you?
Always make a mess.
Do you keep one hand dry though?
Probably does.
See, everyone gets tempted to sort of put their hand in. Don't put your hand in. Keep one hand out and you'll be just fine. So let's put 3 pieces of chicken in there. Turn them over in the egg. Lift some breadcrumbs up. Pour it over the top. And that's it. And like I say, that's, you know, if you were making homemade fish fingers, if you were doing, you know, breaded vegetables of any sort, pieces of cheese. Breadcrumb cheese is lovely. Melted cheese in breadcrumbs. Now you're talking. Right. Air fryer's just letting me know it's preheated. I am almost there. Let's chuck all those in now because I've got the space. This is where the jeopardy kicks in and you're getting a mess, Carlos, because you're rushing because the air fryer's telling you to hurry up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The child around your ankles is hungry. But you don't want to. Just take your time. And like I said before, make more than you need. Put them in the freezer. They're perfect for freezing. You know, or if you're in the supermarket and chicken's on special, think, right, well, I could do that. I could make them, put them in the freezer. And then you're done. And you don't have to have them with this sauce. You can have them with whatever you like. Okay, 2 more to go. Nearly there. Okay, 1 more even. Right, last one. So just give it a really, really good coat. Try and weigh out your breadcrumbs as well so you don't put too many in there, because really once you've added raw chicken to that, you can't do anything with that. It's got to go, all right? So they're finished with. I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay, right. Air fryer's on, 180 degrees, okay? So it's going to cook them nice and steady. Little drizzle of oil, don't need much. Never need much in an air fryer. Okay. And then grab your tongs. And then in they go, okay? Don't overfill the air fryer, yeah? Just, you know, do it in sort of stages if you need to. But if you overfill it, they won't fry. So that's, for me, that's probably enough. Straight into the air fryer, 20 minutes, done. So while they're cooking, let's make this sauce. I love this dipping sauce. It is full of flavour. So first thing we need to do, get our cranberry out, okay? Everyone's got cranberry at the moment sat in the fridge, we know that. But if you haven't, you could still make this. You could use a bit of chutney, a bit of plum sauce, whatever you fancy really. But we're taking that kind of fruitiness. We're adding gochujang. Is that right, Emily? Gochujang?
Yeah.
I feel like it is, gochujang. It sounds a little bit scary, but it's not. It's just a Korean fermented chili paste. It is amazing. Really, really nice. If you can't get this, use some sort of sriracha or something like that. It's not the same, but it's still nice. But if you can, I bought this on Amazon, so you can get it. It's easy to get. Okay, so first in with our cranberry sauce. This is in the book, this one as well. So if you've bought the book or you've bought our book, it's in there. I think it's in Dad's Dinners. Is that right? Dad's Dinners chapter? Hang on. Let's check. We don't want to be accused of fake news. Right, let's have a quick look. I'm sure it's in Dad. It must be in Dad's Dinners. Look, here we go. Dad's Dinners. There you go. That's what we're making today. Okay? So it's a Thomas Sidwell inspired one, this. In with some light soy sauce. So we've got our sweetness in there. We now want our savoury. So that's going to come from our light soy sauce. If you want to use, if you've only got dark, use half the amount, okay? Because otherwise it's quite strong. And then in with your chili paste. I think probably a teaspoon will be enough. And then we're just going to boil that down, and that will just bring all the flavours together. Such a good ingredient, that. Well worth having in your store cupboard. Okay, and then we'll finish with some spring onions. So a little bit of greenery, some goodness. Let's just grab a knife. Okay, so I'm just going to take our spring onions, get rid of the roots, and then we want to chop these really, really fine, okay? So put them on an angle, and then just slice them. And we're going to slice all the white and all the green. Now, spring onions or green onions or scallions are the three things I know they're called. Carlos, what are they called in Spain?
Ajos tiernos.
There you go. Athos.
Ajos tiernos.
Ajos
Tiernos.
dianos. There you go. I'm going to stick with my spring onions. These just give a real freshness as well to it. You could add fresh coriander as well, which I absolutely love, but not everyone loves that in our house. We're a bit divided. My daughter has developed an absolute hate for coriander. Absolutely cannot bear it. She went to one of those Indian street food places in Glasgow at Christmas, and she had loads of coriander, and she didn't know she didn't like it. She most certainly did not like it. Mowgli, that was where she went. Looks really nice. Have you been to Mowgli, Emily?
I want to.
Yeah. It looks really good. And have you been to the street food place in Keswick yet that does Indian food? You have, haven't you?
Yeah,
Is it good? It's like Mowgli, isn't it? Yeah. So as that just comes up to the boil, the cranberry sauce will then melt right down. And the chili paste, the soy, and the cranberry just amalgamate to create one sauce. Okay, chicken is cooked. Look, beautifully crispy. That is it. Let's get those out, okay? And then we'll do the other batch in a second. So don't overfill your air fryer, okay? And then all we're going to do is just drop them in here, okay? Let me pop those on there. Let me move that. And then let's, look, this is our beautiful cranberry, Korean chili and soy sauce. Let's just drop all that on there, yeah? Give it a a little glaze. Add your spring onions, yeah? Give it a really good shake. Let them get fully coated. And then I've got some white sesame seeds. Okay? And then black sesame seeds. And there you go. That is how to make the most delicious Korean chili dip for some chicken tenders. If you want any of today's recipes, make sure you sign up to the newsletter on our website, petersidwell.com. We will deliver all the recipes straight to your inbox. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.